Let us remember that we are in Africa. Let us remember that Africa is the cradle of humanity. Let us remember that Africa has had universities for almost 1,000 years. Let us remember that Africa has natural resources, but more than that, Africa has human talent.
PowerAfrica Conference is largely sponsored by PES and IAS. PES largely deals with power and energy solutions for Africa, while IAS deals with the application of these solutions.
Rural electrification world over have always been done through interventions to ensure affordability, and especially because in most cases these are brownfield or greenfield projects that are perceived to have very high levels of risks.
Now, because of the way the rural communities are, I think it cuts across most of Africa, they're sparsely populated and very far from the national grid. And then also the generation plans and most of the national grid is concentrated in specific areas, especially along the River Nile and all the tributaries.
You didn't sleep, eh? You're still in Canada time.
Energy is everything. If you want to go into production, if you're in the village, you want to ensure that you've got a proper livelihood. Without energy, you can't make it happen. So this conference is a gathering where experts from academia, from industry, NGOs normally come together and share ideas, experiences, research findings, which some of them are tested and working, which can be applied.
I have been to many villages. I have been to African villages, Indian villages, and now roaming around in American villages. So based on all these experiences, I put together a model that I felt will work everywhere. And we developed technologies. So I also believe that technology is a way to democratize development.
The conference is, again, just like I mentioned, I like the way the conference is structured because Africa's population is very young. That's how we are. So we are really tailoring the conference to student, because the majority of the program is targeting student, helping them get educated, helping them get some networking opportunities with people like me and other experts, so that they can learn from them and see what the future is holding and how they can help out through their research and their innovation. Because we don't always talk about it, but we have a lot of bright students, bright people in Africa. We just need to help them get to those resources that will help them succeed and help us achieve the future that we're looking for Africa.
That is really the starting point. Quite often in power projects or any other infrastructure project, you find that in the EIA, there are some social and gender risks sometimes included. The problem is that they don't reach the environmental and social management plan. That is basically the action plan for your EIA. It tells the developer, the contractor, what do you have to do to prevent these social and gender risks, right?
The African continent is running against clock to increase the electricity. But as we are running against the clock to increase this electricity, the population is not stagnant. The population is increasing.
These people will not change their structures of their homes because we are taking power there. Their structures of their homes will still be like the home that I'm showing there. But we need to have technological innovation and solutions to meet the needs of these structures and ensure that they're electrified with the comfort of how the culture and norms and household development is in that particular area.
For those of you who have been into the poorest communities on the planet, you know that a lot of the people that you're sitting with may own nothing more than the clothes they stand up on in a cooking pot. And if you go into their houses, you will see that in their rooms, there's nothing. And often to get to these places, you have to walk, right? There's no road. And if there was a track, climate change has washed it away. The boreholes now run out about 3 months, right, before they should. they're forgotten, right? They're officially forgotten.
So in our project, like with the biogas value chain, we are highlighting the opportunities starting from grassroots levels up to scalability. So we are looking into the different aspects. How does an ordinary person like me benefit from it? But also, how is it applicable, let's say, in an urban setup like a big city or in a rural area? Because, we have to consider the local perspectives. So we can have a global solution, but we have to take it down to the context of the ecosystem where it's meant for.
And what IAS has done is bring people who are within the academia, who are in industry, and be able to bring these two aspects to collaborate. And we are hoping we'll be having more of this in Africa, because currently there haven't been many IAS chapters in Africa, but IAS is very focused to bring this on board right now.
So many employers, small, big, are oftentimes wanting to own it all, right? They don't want to be fair, right? You've done your dues, like I said, you clock on your timesheet, 100%, never 40, and then you have that idea, right? So where's the fairness? Where's that balance? Because this person is just special.
Okay, it depends where that idea was actually triggered from. Because if you weren't in that employment, would you have gotten that idea?
Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe, maybe not. But if you did have it in your course and scope and it was triggered, then you're in the employee, so that would theoretically be owned by the company.
Funding for research has diminished, so one of the things we want to see as well, collaboration between or among researchers and practitioners. So this conference also brings together that kind of environment where people then find where they can work together. You might be working in your country, North Africa, the same thing is being done in Southern Africa. If you know about it and you can define the problem and work together towards a solution, that will be to the benefit of humanity.
Which was just summing up what we were discussing yesterday. Because in the field of engineers, scientists, the STEM world, we have done so much research, but it is remaining in shelves and dispository logs without reaching out to the people that need to hear it. We stand in a room, we want to hear the same grid code, but the people that are going out there to ensure that the same grid code is reached have not heard that.
So PowerAfrica is doing that, in my opinion, and also bringing all those diaspora people like me who's been 20 years in the United States, coming and sharing those knowledge, getting that conduit, essentially that opportunity where we can share and pass through that knowledge to the next generation.
The key thing to me is how do we make energy transition that is fair to everybody, that's a just transition, so that people have equal access, so that things are being done to create clean energy in a way that's also enabling new opportunities, new entrepreneurial activity, and not happening so fast that it ends up impacting people's lives through lack of access to energy. Energy access is critical to high quality of life, is critical to happiness for a lot of people, and so how do we do that in a way that is fair to everybody? And the conversations that I'm hearing here, combining technical knowledge with policy, with entrepreneurial activity through IEEE Smart Village, is really great to see.
A warm welcome to the IEEE PES IAS PowerAfrica Gala Dinner. Distinguished guests, colleagues and friends, it is with great pleasure that I welcome you all to the IEEE PowerAfrica Gala Dinner. This evening, ladies and gentlemen, we gather to celebrate the achievements and contributions of our members and partners in advancing the field of Power Africa engineering, which has been a drive for a sustainable development across the African continent. And it pleases me to see the diverse nature of people that we have here, from young to established researchers.
This time we have over 300 people registered for this event, which makes it the largest in-person Power Africa we've ever had. And another nice fact that's good to know is 83% of the people are much younger than me here. 83% of the attendees are under 50. So I think that's great for the industry, for the event, and hopefully for everybody here, because hopefully you're taking advantage of meeting the people who are have similar interests with you, and you can network and you can make relationships that can help you do your job better professionally, give you more knowledge, and also help the industry, because as you've pointed out here, a lot of the infrastructure in Africa does need to be worked on, and I think the solutions that all you members are working on can make a big difference.
I got to have the opportunity to communicate and network with a lot of very, very important individuals, and then also got to meet a lot of people.